Alrighty, here's a quick tutorial on sectioning your metal. So, this is going to use the Techcut 5 from Allied, okay? And so let's say we want to section this sample, alright? Well, first thing we need to do, we need to turn the system on. It's going to be in the back. You'll be able to find it right above the power cord. So, about right here where my hand is. And then you can see that will turn the power on. See, that turns the light on. However, our green light is still not on here. That's because the emergency stop is on. So go ahead to twist it, to release it, and then that will turn our system on. Okay? Now that we're ready, now that our system is on, we can now open up the bay, and then this will expose our system, our vise and our blade, so that way we can use it. Now we can better see our vise, all right, which is this silver part, and then the blade itself, which is this circular disc. The two black pieces, hoses, are for our fluid, and that will be coolant. You should be seeing coolant flowing when you're doing these cuttings. We use coolant to keep our metal nice and cool. Now, let's say I want to section this piece, so we'll go ahead and put this into our vise, and then you can clamp it down. I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see what I did. Now, so you can see that we clamped our system. You should leave a good little bit exposed, so at least probably about a half of an inch exposed. Alright, once you've done that, we'll zoom back out. You can see with my left hand, we can move our system back and forth. And so we'll go ahead and slowly move it backwards, so that way we're bringing our part towards the blade. We want to bring it so that way we're about a 1/4 to 1/8 inch away from our blade. Okay, so I just turned this handle, brought our vise back, and so that way our part is nice and close to our blade. I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can get an idea of what that looks like. And so now you can see that when we start this cut, we're going to go, the blade will go straight, okay? If this wasn't lined up, if you wanted to cut more or less of your piece, you could use this red handle to move your vise and your part to the left or to the right, okay? Once you have that all set and are ready to go, then we can close our cover. Okay, and once that's done, we can then transition over to the controls over here. Now that we have our part set up and we're ready to cut, we can use the controls. You can go ahead and check that the RPM, rate, force, and rotation settings are all the same as they are in the lab report. Okay, double check that they're all correct. And then aside from that, you can then just go ahead and hit start. After we hit start, you should be able to see that the fluid is now running inside of our chamber. That's that, I don't know, kind of a yellowish color. You can hear the blade is now running. And then in a second, or give it another second. Okay, if you can hear that, we can now hear the blade is cutting our part. And so you should be able to hear it when you do this in person. You'll also be able to see it from the side as well. Go ahead and let the system cut. So keep listening for that noise, and then eventually you'll hear that it stops. Alrighty, if you're listening carefully, you'll notice that the noise has stopped, and when you look into the bay, you should be able to see that the blade is no longer cutting your piece, and so you are ready to go. Sometimes you'll even be able to see that your part has been cut and it is dropped down onto the vise bed. Once that happened, you can go ahead and just press stop once, Hitting stop once pauses the cut, and then hitting stop again retracts the vise and the part back. And then you can, once it is fully retracted, you can open up your bay, and then you'll be able to see your part with your sections cut on the available for you to pick up and to clean for the next step, so you can prepare for mounting it.